Good afternoon, everybody. It's Lorraine Alternative Homesteading on Saturday, September 6, 2025, and it's raining here in eastern Kentucky. Hope everybody's doing well. I just wanted to mention, because some people have questioned the video that I put out about Ted Gunderson and the letter that he wrote to the former President Bush. They're saying, well, how do we know if it's true? Well, I'm going to show you that I have a 7-page document written by Ted L. Gunderson and Associates, and it's signed and notarized. Okay, so I'm going to read a little bit. I'm not reading all 7 pages because I've got a lot of stuff to do here today, and I've been heavily targeted. And in 10 days, and this is for the record, I have lost 5 Guinea hens, 5, 1 rooster, 1 hen, and 2 kittens. Now, some people will say, well, the raccoons or, outside animals can get them. I'm living here 6 years. And I have never, except a couple of times, had hens confiscated by a fox before I fed the fox, and one of those aerial predator hawk birds. All the other times, it was by the inhuman terrain team psycho Satanists here in Jackson County, Kentucky, that perform rituals, animal sacrifices, and animal torture. So now anybody could say plausible deniability. Oh, the other birds, somebody grabbed them outside, a raccoon got in and did this and that. Well, 2 days ago, a guinea, a white guinea, and my snowy hen were torn apart in the front to the right of my driveway when they were locked in deadbolt to the chicken coop the night before. How did they get out? How did they get out? So those 2 birds were stolen from inside the coop and destroyed by people that are trespassing my property. Same goes for the 2 kittens. The 2 kittens, their eyes were harmed, just like the first set of kittens. This mama cat had 6 kittens. And I didn't tell you guys this because it was a horrible thing. But I'm looking for the 6th kitten. Where's the kitten? Where's the kitten? Well, evidently one of the psycho Satanists that entered that building drowned a kitten. The kitten was soaking wet and hid in the corner of the cat's building. Psycho Satanists here in Jackson County, Kentucky. I am at assault here with these psycho Satanists, these Freemasons. The county's all in on it, trying to steal my property, drive me crazy, drive me off my property, steal my deliveries. Oh, and then I ordered a bunch of socks on eBay because they keep destroying my socks. Same thing with my panties and everything else, holes everywhere, clothes that are larger than the clothes that I buy. I wear a size small, and then I'll put a pair of pants on, and they're either twice as small or twice as large. And this is a psychological operation with your tax dollars. With your tax dollars, they'll do this. And I just lost my train of thought. Since I've been here, since 2019, it has been an all-out assault on me with all of my neighbors, and I have no problem saying their names because it's not slander or defamation, Wave, and it's true. But it's true that you've taken your perky neighbors to court. And the kangaroo court, rather than awarding me the damages to my gate, asked me one question. In the stalking law, and there are several criteria to make a determination of whether or not somebody is stalking you. The stupid ass, ignorant guy that can't even understand the English language had to ask me what I was saying. He couldn't understand my vocabulary because they're so moronic here in Jackson County, Kentucky. He couldn't understand my vocabulary. A friggin' judge doesn't understand the English language. Asks me, do you have a familial relationship with the Perkies? Like, have you had a sexual encounter with them? Have you had a personal relationship with them? Of course not. And my stupid ass neighbor is rolling her eyes that are laden with black mascara from here to eternity, with her little smug little smirk on her face. Judge rules, no stalking, which means that I was not granted the restraining order. I was also not granted the more than $600 in damages to my gate that those criminals incurred to my property. So now I have no problem talking about it. Oh, and also, Chris Bowles, who stole evidence and then has the audacity to claim. The law told him he can't return my gate. Tampering with evidence. That was evidence to be shown to the judge that this was not the first gate that's been torn down. It's the second gate. The original gate was on the property when I purchased it from Travis Sparks, who built a village here. That all of these hypocrites, fake friends, neighbors, were to him. They all wanted what he had. And he was so good, so good. He probably should have still been alive today. The guy should have well outlasted 100 years because of his lifestyle and everything. But when they gave him a heart attack, he survived. But he did not survive all the black mold that they spewed inside of his mobile home trailer at the age of 96, develops pneumonia and dies in the month of July. Who gets pneumonia in July? Come on, guys. They had it out for this guy. But he had a large family. He was well known in the community. But they still wanted his land, just the way they want mine. Well, I'm sorry, guys. If you want it, you can buy it. But it costs more. And in fact, I just looked on Zillow. And Zillow gave me the estimate of $548K. And that's without anything. $548. But I'm asking $584. Maybe a little bit more. So you can burn out all my grass that you're doing, scorching the grass, drilling holes in my trees, rerouting water. Oh, I didn't post that latest video. So this is my rant. I wanted to talk about Ted Gunderson. So we have a preamble before Ted Gunderson, okay? So here we go. I, Ted L. Gunderson, hereby swear under the pains and penalties of jury that the following statements are true and correct. And let me show you what I'm reading. This is his testimony, 7 pages long. I'm not going to read all 7 pages. Anybody that wants a copy of this PDF, you could email me at alternativehomesteading@gmail.com and just write Gunderson in the subject heading. And actually, he did this, and he said, I believe, if I remember correctly, that anybody that files a lawsuit may use this sworn document in their lawsuit. Okay, so my name is Ted L. Gunderson. I'm the owner and operator of Ted L. Gunderson and Associates, an international security and consulting firm based out of Santa Monica, California. I'm currently a licensed private investigator in the state of California. I have performed private investigation and security work for numerous individuals, companies, and governments worldwide since founding my firm in 1979. I have worked for, amongst others, F. Lee Bailey, Esquire, the California Narcotics Authority appointment by Governor Jerry Brown, the 1984 Los Angeles Olympic Committee, and the 1979 Pan American Games in San Juan, Puerto Rico by appointment of then U.S. Attorney General Griffin Bell. Previous to my work as private investigator, I spent nearly 3 decades in the FBI. Between 51 and 60, I was an FBI special agent. In 1960, I was promoted as a supervisor at FBI headquarters in Washington, D.C., where I was in charge of organized crime and racketeering investigations covering 26 FBI field offices nationwide. Following the assassination of President John F. Kennedy, I was reassigned to Special Inquiry White House Matters at FBI headquarters. In 1965, I was promoted again to Assistant Special Agent in charge of internal security and anti-terrorism of the FBI New Haven, Connecticut field office. In 1970, I was promoted again to Assistant Special Agent in charge of the FBI Philadelphia, Pennsylvania field office. On July 12, 1972, I successfully negotiated with 2 terrorist hijackers of National Airlines Flight 496 for the release of 119 passengers at the Philadelphia International Airport. In 1973, I was promoted again to Chief Inspector at FBI headquarters. I also served as Special Agent in charge of the FBI Memphis and Dallas field offices. I retired from the FBI as Senior Special Agent in charge of the Los Angeles field office of the FBI with over 700 employees and a budget of over $22 million in 1979. Do you know how much money that is in 1979? I have read the complaint in the current action of a Mr. Keith Labella against the FBI and Department of Justice, and it is my professional opinion, based upon information, knowledge, and belief, that the information sought by Mr. Labella in this FOIA suit regarding quote-unquote gang stalking groups, gang stalking methods, reasonably describes the ongoing active covert nationwide program that is in effect today, and based upon my investigations and experience has been operational since at least the early 1980s. Since the 1980s, gang stalking has increased in scope, intensity, and sophistication by adapting to new communications and surveillance technology, which we all know is off the charts. These programs are using the code names Echelon Program, Carnivore System. Carnivore? Like, does that sound like Luciferian Satanist system to you? It does to me. The Carnivore System. Tempest Systems. The Echelon program is administered by the NSA out of Fort Meade, Maryland, and monitors all mail and phone calls in the world. So it doesn't matter what phone you got, guys. It does not. It really doesn't matter. This is going on since the 1980s, okay? The Carnivore System is administered by the NSA out of Fort Meade, Maryland, and can download any computer system without being traced or otherwise known to the owner. Well, NSA, I hope you're enjoying all my cat photos. You like cats? I hope you like cats. without being traced or otherwise known to the owner. Tempest systems can decipher what's on any computer screen. Get this, guys. Now, this is back in the 80s. Up to a quarter of a mile away. Let that sink in for a minute. This old technology, the Tempest systems, can decipher what's on your computer screen. What I'm reading right now, up to a quarter of a mile away. These programs are negatively impacting thousands of Americans and severely abusing their civil rights on a daily basis. And could you imagine how much intellectual property they can steal? All of your ideas. You're drafting your master thesis. You're drafting your doctoral thesis. And the NSA comes in and screenshots all of your work and then uses it, patents it, publishes it. The list is endless. The abuses are endless. Based upon my investigative work, he says, which includes intelligence from sources such as active and former members of the intelligence services, including the FBI, the CIA, the NSA, the military intelligence, information from informants, active in criminal enterprises, and victim testimonies, I have come to the conclusion that thousands of victims have been targeted by an illegal government rogue criminal enterprise that's active 24 hours a day within the United States. Now remember, this is old testimony. Old. Okay? So it's no longer thousands of victims. It's millions of victims now. This conspiracy is far too active to be controlled or operated by private enterprise whose goals are achieving, here you go, financial gain, total asset stripping. These operations require extensive financing with no return on the investment. These program operations are financed by illegal black operations, narcotics, prostitution, kiddo napping. I don't even know what I could say, but they've got these auctions. They auction, sort of like, when you're auctioning off livestock. This is not that kind of a livestock. This is a different kind of a livestock of up to $50,000 per livestock. Gambling and other rackets, including traffic lights. That's what I'm going to say. Traffic lights, okay? Human traffic lights. The traffic lights? Traffic lights. Now remember, we're talking about, this is going back to the 1980s. He goes on to say, I have documentation and know that throughout the United States, operating 24/7, there's a central command located in the United States with multiple satellite officers whose administrators can instantly initiate surveillance, phone taps, and harassment against any individual in the country. So you don't just have to be a targeted individual. Any person in the country. They have the technology, financing, and manpower to dispense illegal surveillance and harassment against anyone, anytime, day or night. He goes on to say, I have files on numerous cases of active, programmatic, illegal government harassment currently being conducted against thousands of Americans. And this makes the FBI's former COINTELPRO program, which I worked on, including in a supervisory capacity, look like Sunday school by comparison. I firmly believe that most individuals working in the FBI and other intelligence agencies of the government overall are honest, law-abiding public servants. However, a sophisticated network of rogue operatives have secretly infiltrated the FBI, other intelligence agencies, including the CIA, and other key government positions. These rogue elements seek personal power and wealth and considers themselves above the law and the Constitution. And actually, this paragraph, I believe, is exactly what I read in his letter to the former President Bush. So I'm not going to complete reading this just to save some time because I'm on 20 minutes already. Individuals targeted by this program have been subjected to illegal and unconstitutional phone taps, illegal rerouting of business and private phone calls for purposes of harassment, illegal audio bugging, surreptitious entry into home, office, vehicle, visual surveillance in the home conducted by illegal placement of miniature, remote, wireless cameras, often accessible via internet, illegal internet spyware, illegal GPS tracking, often through their own mobile phones, regular fixed and mobile surveillance, mail misdirection. Oh, like my mail packages. Oh, yeah, so my kitty cat socks that I purchased on eBay, they were not delivered to my house. They were delivered to a man the other side of this town. And he signed for it. He had the audacity to sign his name to my paid-for package. Yeah, the one with the big fat belly. Yeah, the one with the big fat belly. He looks like he's like 12 months pregnant. If you could ever get to be 12 months pregnant, that's what he looks like. He looks like he's 12 months pregnant. So that's what's happening here in Jackson County, Kentucky. My packages are being rerouted, stolen, broken. And Ted Gunderson is validating that this is what happens. The illegal GPS through their own mobile phones, regular fixed and mobile phone surveillance, mail misdirection, mail theft and tampering, financial and employment sabotage, slander campaigns like, Dr. Veterinarian Rebecca Caleb Wilson says she can't give me a veterinarian appointment because I'm not friends with her friends and she doesn't get me, and she hung up on me. Her staff hung up on me. Yes, because of the slander campaign. While they continue to dump wildlife and cats on my property and then refuse me veterinary care when I'm a 501c3 nonprofit cat rescue, and they're torturing my animals here in Jackson County, Kentucky, and then the sheriff's department has the audacity to falsify the incident reports when I have them on a recorded line on my YouTube channel, where they are lying. Totally lied in the incident report about what happened. Psycho-Satanists. The slander campaigns and community ostracizing, internet disinformation, and smear campaigns like, oh, well, what about the Gorilla Boy? And you know what I found out? And I am furious. That little piece of crap, that little guy that really he needs a girlfriend or something. Not only did he stalk me for more than a year and harass me, but he was stalking and slandering Michaela Raines at Save a Fox, and he is still doing it. And he lives in the same state that she has her main location. And I guarantee that little effer was inside her house. I'm just putting it out there. For all you people that follow Save a Fox, do your research. Yes, they have disinformation and smear campaigns, poisoning, assaults, and murder, illegal setups on drug charges and other felony charges, among many other civil rights abuses. This is Ted Gunderson, top-level FBI guy, providing a written testimony about what is happening in these abusive programs. In addition to high-ranking members of the FBI and other intelligence services and the government overall, wealthy, powerful members of criminal syndicates, multi-millionaires, and corporate elite, and I'm going to add in there the feral cat cartel, with your donations and government grants, are using government gang stalking programs to harass their enemies. They can get a targeted individual harassed for the rest of that individual's life. Individual cases of gang stalking lasting over a decade is common. I'm over a decade. I'm raising my hand. The higher status members of the gang stalking conspiracy initiate the gang stalking and coordinate logistics and funding. The lower echelon government rogue operatives, the lower ranking members of the military in violation of the posse committed. This paragraph is actually written in his letter to President Bush. Petty criminals, street thugs perform the grunt work of daily monitoring and harassment of individuals targeted by the program. Based upon my professional experience, extensive intelligence information, and belief, it is my professional opinion that the FBI, my favorite Bureau of Instigation, is involved in and has investigative files on the subject of gang stalking, related gang stalking methods, and gang stalking groups in the FBI's vast intelligence files that are responsive to Mr. Labella's FOIA complaint. Oh, and I have FOIA requested the FBI. And of course, I get the patent, we cannot confirm or deny that you're on any lists in the name of national security. Yeah, right. Same goes for Homeland Security and the fusion centers here in Jackson County, Kentucky. Same BS. So evidently they're not collaborating and fusing enough information together to provide me with a file on all the complaints that I filed in the state of Kentucky. They have nothing at all. Nothing. Zero. The FBI has ignored my request to investigate, even though it's their responsibility to investigate kidnappings. I have a contact in Germany who advises me that the CIA has set up secret operations on the U.S. I can't really say this. On U.S. military bases for that. And selling of livestock. Selling livestock worldwide. The FBI may be using a unique code name, like livestock, and nomenclature for the gang stalking phenomenon in its records. That's why you can't find it. It's got a code name. Maybe it's called livestock. However, this is a semantic difference and in no way changes my professional opinion that the FBI has investigative files on the nationwide phenomenon of gang stalking described in reasonable and specific detail in Mr. Labella's FOIA complaint. These FBI files contain information responsive to Mr. Labella's FOIA complaint regarding the subject of gang stalking, and the FBI and other intelligence agencies are administering and covering up the rogue, covert, government criminal enterprise of gang stalking. The gang stalking criminal enterprise of gang stalking appears in the records of both the FBI and NSA in their records pertaining to the Echelon program, Carnivore system, and Tempest systems. I mean, are these like really sinister sounding names? Oh my goodness, I want to know who named these systems. In addition, the gang stalking phenomenon appears in the records of both the FBI and NSA in their records pertaining to information collected by NARIS. I'm hearing of this for the first time. NARIS Systems. N-A-R-U-S. Here, I'll show you. It's a wholly owned subsidiary of of Boeing that produces sophisticated mass surveillance computer systems currently being used by the FBI and NSA. Oh my goodness. I'm so glad I didn't move to that Greenville, South Carolina or whatever it was, because that Boeing lives there. Okay, so he signed this, and I'm going to show you here. April 26, 2011. Here it is. Notary here, but let me scroll down because he's got it down here. Let me show you. Let me show you. Here you go. Is a witness signing. Let me scroll down, see what else there is here. Up here's some more. Here's some more. I actually got through 6 pages, so hey, you know, I didn't realize it was going to be so. Oh, here. And here's his resume. Here you go. Look, check this out, guys. Look at this resume. Let me scroll up. And his publications. Okay, I'll read a little bit of his publications here. Oh, and he's got awards here. He wrote in 1989, How to Locate Anyone Anywhere Without Leaving Home, under E.P. Dutton. He received a Bachelor of Science, University of Nebraska in 1950. He's got 3 awards here from 1977 to 79. Law Enforcement Officer of the Year, AFL-CIO Medal Trades, Alumni Highest Effort Award in the Field of Law Enforcement, Sigma Alpha Epsilon Social Fraternity, Distinguished Alumnus Award in recognition of distinguished and devoted service to his country, the University of Nebraska. He was a Senior Special Agent in Charge, a Special Agent in Charge Memphis, Chief Inspector, Assistant Special Agent in Charge New Haven, Connecticut, Special Agent Supervisor, Federal Bureau of Investigations, Washington, D.C., and he was a Special Agent. He was a California Narcotics Authority, consultant appointed by Governor Jerry Brown, and so we reviewed some of this already. And so here you go. I don't know, guys. What do you think? Do you think he would make a really good witness? Do you think that this affidavit testimony would hold up in court? I don't know, guys. Leave a comment down below. Sounds good to me. Oh, and it's notarized. It's notarized. It's stamped and everything. And I don't know. It sounds like he knows what he's talking about. So anyway, I'm going to sign off for now. I've got a lot of stuff to do, and it seems like the rain stopped, so I can run outside without getting too wet. And I hope everybody's doing well, and I will have my live stream tonight. And just for the record, the creepy voice that interferes, he's not invited. The creepy voice is part of the harassment of me and my subscribers. Everybody knows about the creepy voice. The creepy voice annoys some people more than others. Other people have just learned to ignore him, just the way you ignore all these other criminals. The creepy voice is not only on my live stream. It's when I do a Zoom call with anyone. The last Zoom I did with David A., the creepy voice was in there. And the creepy voice actually shows up on my my cameras, my home security cameras. When I'll play it back, at least on the porch, like I hear the creepy voice there. And I actually uploaded one of the videos because he actually said my name, which is kind of funny. So the creepy voice is like, said like, Rain on my porch camera. So anyway, this was the testimony affidavit of Ted Gunderson Associates. Hope everybody's doing well, and hope to see you in the live stream tonight. And if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. You will receive alerts. Turn on all of your alerts. Feel free to share. It helps the channel grow, get the message out there. And beware, there are people that have set up targeting channels who are not targeted themselves. And some of them are actually charging targeted people for their testimonies, whatever the amount is. I never charge anybody for providing me a testimony. I think the testimonies need to get out there, and that's it. It takes my time, my effort, it takes your time and effort, and I appreciate every one of you. So anybody who does want to provide a testimony, no, you don't have to pay me a fee. I will read it or have a phone conversation with you and record it. Reading it is easier for me just because I've got the craziest schedule. I never know when I can have a phone call with anybody. But email me at alternativehomecity@gmail.com and we could set something up. So I will talk to you guys soon.